YouTube. This is Laserdiscphan talking at you again after a long hiatus. I'm sorry about that. A lot of things have been happening in my life as of late, but getting back into doing some videos here for YouTube, continuing my love of home video, so to speak. Even though my name is Laserdiscphan, as of late I've been becoming more of a home video fan of late. Because as you can see with the title of this video, it's HD DVD, or the third failed home HD home video format. So you wonder why I'm calling that the third failed home video format. It's because there were two previous home video formats that allowed you to watch movies in HD, and you could buy movies on the HD and the HD format. The first one was back in the early 90s called High Vision Laserdisc, and that one didn't last very long because the Laserdiscs themselves were very expensive. The players themselves were very expensive. You also had to buy a HD decoder, or I always call it a Muse decoder, because that's actually what the high definition video format was called, was Muse. As the broadcast format was called Muse, which stands for Multiple Sub-Nyquist Sequence Encoding. That's a mouthful and a half. And it was only available in Japan. But still, as it was, you could still have movies. They still made movies on the format. Movies like Jurassic Park, League of Their Own, Top Gun. These big Hollywood movies made it to that HD format. So it probably was the first means you could own movies. You could buy movies on an HD format. So that only lasted until '96. Then DVD came along, effectively killing HD high vision Muse Laserdisc, along with eventually standard Laserdisc itself. And then in 2001 or 2002. JVC, with their DVHS format, which stands for Data VHS, came out with D-Theater. D-Theater was a means where you could buy movies on the DVHS format. It was slightly a different format than DVHS. DVHS started off in the late 90s as just a means to make perfect recordings of digital satellite broadcasts. Initially, it was not high definition. It was a standard definition format. And then they eventually made it high definition, a DVHS high definition, where you can record in 720p. You can record 480i with very good quality. From what I understand, if you record it in 480i, you can get like 8 hours or 10 hours on a 6-hour, normally 6-hour VHS tape, with higher bit rate than DVD and better quality DVD, or you can do 720p or 1080i. All of the movies for D-Theater were all in 1080i, with either a DTS and Dolby Digital or Dolby Digital soundtrack, and they're all some pretty big Hollywood movies. I think DreamWorks and Fox backed the D-Theater format, but it still didn't last very long. It lasted a couple of like 2 or 3 years, although a good amount of movies were put on the format, and from what I understand, some very good transfers as well. Being better than the high-definition TV broadcast you could have seen at the time. So that didn't last very long until we got to HD DVD and Blu-ray. And as you all know, we had a small format war in the mid-2000s between HD DVD and Blu-ray. And initially, Blu-ray was falling behind HD DVD in the early going. HD made it out first, was cheaper, and was outselling Blu-ray hardware 2 to 1 at one point. But the thing was, Sony, backer of Blu-ray, and Toshiba, the backer of HD DVD, Sony was determined to make Blu-ray a success at this point, because this is the third time. Technically, unless you can't really say a fourth time, but in the big scheme of things, third time they had a video format. They tried to make a video format, and it failed or didn't make it to the market. Now, of course, everyone knows their first failure was Betamax. It didn't last for it was the first to make it out the market. Technically superior to VHS, but it didn't make it. VHS took over, and that's kind of like stuck in Sony's craw for a while. That their format. They also tried again with the Video 8 format or 8mm tape format. They made 8mm VCRs and initially mostly the 8mm format video format was for camcorders because it was lightweight, small, it was smaller tapes, and you record as much as a regular VHS tape on an 8mm tape. On an 8mm tape, but they also made VCRs and tried to get movies to put movies on the format, and movies were put on the format 8mm format, but it really never got anywhere. It was basically just camcorders and that's it. And then in the early 90s, there were two competing formats for the 5-inch CD format digital video movie, which eventually became DVD. There were two formats. A lot of people don't know this, but Toshiba was creating what eventually became DVD, and Sony and Philips were developing what they called the MMCD, which is Multimedia Compact Disc. Saying as how Sony and Philips jointly developed the original compact disc, they go on to call this the Multimedia Compact Disc. They were incompatible, and they were not, and so industry insiders were like praying that they could avoid a format war. That the two camps, Toshiba and Sony, would come to an agreement and just get one format and avoid the format war, and avoid another VHS versus Betamax problem that they had before. And eventually, that's what happened. Most everyone backed Toshiba's DVD format, and the MMCD went on the wayside. I kind of think the MMCD then became the Super Audio CD that you might know about. It was supposed to replace the CD, but we'll get into that later. So there's another a failure of a format that Sony had, and so that was you can probably imagine by this point Sony was like really getting pissed off that the video formats weren't making it. So along comes the mid 2000s. High definition TVs are out there. People want something to take advantage of their high definition formats and not be taped, because D-Theater was out there but never caught on. So the Toshiba just started to bring up, they wanted to make HD DVD as the next evolutionary step of their standard definition DVD. But Sony wanted to come out with Blu-ray. Blu-ray it had higher storage capacity and was more durable because they got with 3M or TDK to create a more sturdier discs that resisted scratches, stuff like that. So all in all, it was a more technically superior format. That doesn't always matter though, because in the long going, because Beta was superior to VHS, wasn't it? But Sony did have two aces up their sleeve. Sony had already purchased a couple of movie studios and their library, so they automatically had software to put on the format, because they already owned Columbia Pictures, and they also bought the MGM movie library. So automatically they had movies to put on the format. They didn't really need to backing up too many other movie studios to put movies on Blu-ray. The second one, and this was a big one, was their highly successful PlayStation video game consoles. Initially when they made the PlayStation 2, they included DVD video playback on the PlayStation 2, which was one of the ways DVD was able to catch on faster, because if you had a PlayStation 2, you had a DVD player. Same thing happened here this time around. When creating the PlayStation 3, Sony made that one, put the Blu-ray movie playback automatically in the PlayStation 3. So since the PlayStation consoles are extremely popular, as soon as they came out, millions of PlayStation 3s went to people's homes, millions of Blu-ray players went to people's homes as well. And that was an obstacle that Toshiba and HDDVD could not overcome, and eventually they threw in the towel on the HDDVD format. Now you might wonder why I would want to get into HDDVD. Well, two reasons. One reason was I bought a Laserdisc player from this one guy. It was a DVL 700 Laserdisc and DVD player, and he gave me the the player along with some Laserdiscs and some DVDs and some HD DVDs. I don't know why he had HD DVDs, because the DVL 700 does not play HD DVDs, but he gave it to me anyway. So I had some HD DVDs automatically, and it just seemed like it's another format I could just get into pretty easily, because the hardware out there is cheap, the software out there is cheap, and so I decided, I want to see what it's all about, because I like comparing video formats. Like even when I was comparing Laserdisc and VHS back in the day, then Laserdisc and DVDs back in the day. Now that I got a Blu-ray player, I can now compare HD DVDs and Blu-rays to see which one looks better. Like here I have the Fog on HD DVD, and I also have the Fog on Blu-ray from Shop Factory. So I really want to compare the two of those, see which one looks better. I gotta imagine the Blu-ray will look better because a newer transfer. This is a transfer of an old DVD release from the early 2000s, but still it's high definition. So you really never really know which going to look better to you. So comparing formats is one of the reasons why I got into it. And plus, when looking around on Craigslist, I found a guy selling one of the higher-end Blu-ray HD DVD players for just $20 with a stack of HD DVDs. So I was like, well, $20, I can't really pass that up. So I'll show you the player that I've got later. In the meantime, I'll get into the HD DVD collection that I have. A lot of these movies I did not buy, so I don't know a whole lot about them. But ones I do know about, I'll talk about. The other ones I'll just show you that I got them, and then go from there. Like initially, I showed you already. This is the Fog. This is actually a UK release. As you can see, you got the 18 certificate there. That's the UK rating. 18 and 15. Oh, 15. Sorry, 15. That's a UK rating for movies. It's one thing about HD DVDs. Region encoding was never enabled on HD DVD players. So any HD DVD you buy will play on your American HD DVD player. So that's one thing in its favor. Not that I can't remember that too many imports are out there that you want to get, but they're out there, and you can get them if you like. So this is another disc everyone should have. You should have this pretty much any format that you've got. This is Digital Video Essentials for HD DVD. This is for calibrating your display for a better picture. So I've got Video Essentials for Laserdisc, I've got Digital Video Essentials for DVD, I've got Digital Video Essentials for Blu-ray, and also have it for HD DVD, so you can calibrate your picture for the format for your format, so it gives you the best picture possible. So everyone should have a copy of this for every format you've got. Here we got The Thing, another great John Carpenter movie. This one I got mostly because I understand that the Blu-ray releases of The Thing in America, the making of documentary is not the full documentary. The full making of documentary is on the HD DVD here. I imagine it's also on the Signature Collection Laserdisc box set. I should have that because I'm a Laserdiscphan. I should have all the really good, but I don't have it. I probably should get this just for to have it because I do like the movie a lot. But the full documentary is on the HD DVD, and it's a pretty good transfer. So. I imagine there's. I do know that there's another release of The Thing on Blu-ray from Arrow Video. That I haven't. I should check on that one. It should have new supplements because Arrow always makes new supplements. So I don't know if that has the full making of documentary though. I'll look into that though. Here's a good one. Here's the 2004 Dawn of the Dead remake by Zack Snyder and James Gunn. I didn't mind that movie so much. I normally hate remakes, but that remake, I was like, that's pretty good. They made it tolerable. So I was like, I got this one for that one. So I was like, and I do like horror movies, so there weren't too many horror movies released on the HD DVD format, so I want to grab as many of those as I can. And this one was a bad addition. And here we got Shaun of the Dead. I saw this in theaters back in 2004. Really great movie. Glad I got this on HD DVD, and if you haven't seen it, please see it. It's great, really great fun movie. Oh yeah, here we got Hot Fuzz, also by Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright. And this is actually the first movie I watched when I set up the HD DVD player. I was kind of blown away, not only by the picture, because I knew the picture was going to look good, because high definition 1080p, it's going to look amazing. But I was really blown away by the sound on this. The Dolby Digital Plus soundtrack on this was really just knocked my socks off. I couldn't believe how good it was. I thought the pinnacle of home movie audio was DTS Laserdisc, but this one just really took the cake. So that's what really turned me on to HD DVD. One thing about this thing, it's a HD DVD combo format. Now the problem with the HD DVD combo format is that they put DVD and HD DVD on the same disc. One side is HD DVD, the other side is DVD. And from what I understand, these have a very high failure rate, where the layer change on the HD DVD side tends to fail a lot when you try to play it back. I haven't played this back the entire way. I don't know if this one is a failure, but we'll see about that. But so if you can avoid the HD DVD combo format, you should, because it's, from what I understand, it has a high failure rate. Or they call on the Laserdisc database they call it HD DVD rot to go along with the laser rot. So it is something to look out for. Speaking of which, so here I have two versions of 300. This is the HD DVD combo format, and here's the standard version, just HD DVD. This one plays without any problem. This one gets to about 10 minutes left in the movie on the HD DVD side and conks out. So I'm glad I have this version. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I might keep this. I've had to go to somebody's house and they want to watch 300. They only have an DVD player. we can watch the standard DVD side without any problem, but we can't watch the HD DVD side. But yeah, stay clear of this one, because this one is notorious for having layer change issues. We have Shrek the Third. I've actually seen Shrek 1 and 2. I've never seen Shrek the Third. I'm glad I have it on HD DVD so I can see it on a really high quality format. So we'll see how that turns out. Here we go. Got Army of Darkness. If you add all of the horror, you know about Army of Darkness. I don't need to go on that one. I haven't checked this one out yet because it's about because I got it recently, but really good. Really anxious to check this out and see what kind of transfer it has. And we got Caddyshack. Really great comedy for the early '80s. I actually saw it as a drive-in way back when, so looking forward to check that one out. Okay, this one is the Phantom of the Opera from 2004. I didn't buy this. It's kind of part of one of the package deals I bought when I bought the HDV Player Plus along with the Lasers player I told you about before. I don't care for this movie very much. I mean, I really enjoy the Phantom of the Opera stage production, but this movie is just, it wasn't that good. I guess the only good thing about it is I kind of brought Gerard Butler out into the open a little more and made him a bigger star as he started as the Phantom, and my mom fell in love with him, so got him some big roles after this, but just not a good movie. Here we got Alexander Revisited. Don't know much about this other than it was kind of controversial because a lot of people didn't like it. It's Oliver Stone movie. I might watch it. I don't know, but I don't really know. I know the story of Alexander, but I just know the movie was it kind of tanked. Here we got Aeon Flux. I know I've watched the animated series Aeon Flux. I never watched this live action version. I'll get around to it sooner or later. Here we got Black Snake Moan with Christina Ricci and Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I'll get around to watching it sooner or later.
That's nice. Wild and wonderful.